Okay, so here's the deal. I know a lot of you are going to get really, really happy when I read to you the story that TMZ posted about George Zimmerman. I know that you're going to feel like as if some sort of justice was served, but I'm going to give my opinion on it after I read the article. So TMZ posted a story titled, George Zimmerman says he got punched for talking about Trayvon Martin shooting in public. The article reads, George Zimmerman called 911 to report he was punched in the face, and there are reports it's all because he introduced himself as the guy who killed Trayvon Martin. It happened at Gators Riverside Restaurant in Sanford, Florida last weekend. According to a transcript of the 911 call, Zimmerman says he was explaining to people at his table that he shot Trayvon in self-defense. He says a man who overheard walked up to his table and asked, "You're bragging about that?" Zimmerman claims the man threatened to kill him and punched him in the face. But there are witnesses reportedly telling a different story, that Zimmerman introduced himself to someone by saying, quote, "My name is George Zimmerman. You know, the guy who killed Trayvon Martin." The alleged puncher fled the restaurant and police are looking for him. Okay, so here's the deal. A lot of people were going to say, wow, good for George Zimmerman. I'm glad he got punched in the face. He deserved it. He's a dick. You know, look at what he did. He killed this kid, this, that, and the third. But to tell you the truth, as much as I don't like George Zimmerman, I really can't stand this bastard. I don't think that punching him in his face will solve the issue. I don't think that him getting some quote-unquote street justice will solve the issue. I think that the issue at large is much bigger than just George Zimmerman, because there's millions of people like George Zimmerman. They may have not had the guts, or rather the connections, to get away with pulling off the murder the way he did, with his father being a judge and whatnot. But to tell you the truth, there's plenty of George Zimmermans running around, you know? And I'm not saying that I don't want Trayvon Martin to ever get justice, but honestly, I don't think he's going to get justice at this point, because when we had the chance for him to get it, you know, the judicial system fucked up. Basically, I don't know how else to word it. They really screwed up. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. I mean, we all know that he was guilty. I mean, it's blatantly obvious what he did that night. In fact, I think that he stopped and frisked Trayvon Martin to make sure he had no guns on him. Because, you know, if you looked at the evidence and you paid attention to what they were saying about the story, they said that there were like fingerprints like underneath his shirt. And I'm like, why would there be fingerprints like underneath his shirt? I'm thinking that George checked for weapons, doing like some pseudo police work. We all know that George Zimmerman is a liar. He's a violent thug. He has plenty of mugshots. Trayvon had 0 mugshots. Zimmerman has at least 6. You see him on the screen, right? Yeah, George Zimmerman was your typical thug and a waste of welfare, because he's been to jail, and tired of my tax dollars being wasted on thugs like George. But yeah, I don't think that punching him in his face is good enough. Honestly, I don't think that anything could be done to rectify the issue. Once you do something like what he did, shoot a minor, kill him in cold blood, go on to assault multiple people, threaten multiple people, and then this alleged incident, which is probably true. I mean, the guy is the worst of the worst, man. He's definitely a very, very screwed up person. Really, really screwed up in the head. And people from his past basically talked about that. But yeah, he'll go on to do more stupid things. And at the end of the day, I just want him to disappear. And when I say disappear, I don't mean die. I mean like literally just like, I don't want to hear about George Zimmerman. Like, I'm basically done at this point after today. But I had to do this video because, you know, it's a part of the story. And I said that I would update people on what's going on. So I'm just doing what I said I would do. Continue to update you guys on what's going on with this idiot. But anyways, this is all my opinion. What's yours? Let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com for more. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine. Crazy thing about it is the reports about this popped up on like the same day that Dylan Roof, the South Carolina shooter, was assaulted in jail allegedly. Isn't that interesting?